I don't think that this will be. I think this will be close. This is going to be another down to the wire, as both of the games were. Vikings, Saints, Eagles, Falcons. It'll be down to the wire. It should be low scoring. The question is, who gets it going on the ground? Who makes the big plays? Who turns it over? But I want to hear from both of you, of course. I have a tough time making a real valid prediction as to what's going to really happen here, because this is going to go down to the wire. And after seeing the games that both of them played in the divisional round, what makes you think that it's going to be anything other than back and forth, defensive, field goals? Anything stand out outside of what I've mentioned?
One matchup that I think will be interesting that maybe is getting overlooked right now is Vikings running attack versus Eagles defensive front. I think the Eagles have perhaps the best front four in football, one of the best linebacking cores in football, probably behind Jacksonville, maybe second or third best there. Can Minnesota establish some sort of running attack? They averaged less than 4 yards a carry against New Orleans, and I think it hurt them in the second half. They weren't able to pick up those first downs when they had the lead, and they were trying to ice the game. They gave Drew Brees too much time, gave him a minute and a half, and he was able to lead the Saints down the field for what probably should have been the game-winning drive. Latavius Murray stepping in for Dalvin Cook earlier this season is another guy who's had to step up for this team in addition to Case Keenum. He's fine, but the offensive line for Minnesota is not good. It's not as good as the Falcons' offensive line, and the Eagles did a number on the Falcons' running game, which, again, has a more talented offensive line and more talented back. So I think if the Eagles dominate up front and slow down that running game, now you're talking about, can Case Keenum win a game for Minnesota without help around him? Granted, two really good receivers in Diggs and Thielen, but without a running game, can Case Keenum win the game in a close one for Minnesota? And that's a bet that I think the Eagles will have to be willing to take.